pain analogy, then we're all on top of it. Non-severe right now, let's take a look at the hail tracker, showing some potentially small hail between Buchanan Dam and Llano. You see it moving off to the east, the size of pennies or dimes possible. We'll take a look at the shear, see if there's any big spin. No, nothing there. We'll take a look at velocity. Not really, but again, we're still seeing these turquoise colors. So you'll see the scale on the left side of your screen. Anytime you start to see these turquoise colors kind of right in here, this is showing Doppler winds several thousand feet up, 60 plus miles per hour. And they'll be really high up there, and then you could get a few wind gusts around 50 miles per hour to mix down at the surface. So you have to have winds, gusts 58 miles per hour or higher as far as winds go for it to be considered a severe storm. So that's probably why the National Weather Service hasn't pulled the trigger on any kind of a warning. And as you saw on Hail Tracker, there's nothing really big on the Hail Tracker right now. I'm going to take off lightning. What you'll see also a little bit later on this afternoon is within these thunderstorms like this, once you start to see little whites, we changed up the color table a little bit late last year, to help us and you identify where hail cores are developing. So I'll show that to you here a little bit later on today, but whenever you start to see little whites pop up, those are higher reflectivity coming on back, meaning that the radar beam isn't just hitting heavy rain like it is now, but potentially some hailstones that could be at severe weather limits. So we'll keep an eye on that, and as soon as I see that show up, I will pop that up for you. So big audience watching right now. I know a lot of you are asking about particular locations. Everyone enjoyed the champagne analogy. Kathy wants a tequila analogy. Kathy, it's going to be a long day. We may just do that for you. But again, right now, no active watches, no active warnings. That will change. We have, as of the last check from the Storm Prediction Center, and I'll take a look at what it is right now, but less than 2 hours ago, they gave, yeah, it's still there, gave us a heads up that a watch would be likely for our area, 80% chance of us having a watch. They haven't issued it just yet. I think they're waiting for these storms maybe to get just a bit stronger, but could be a severe thunderstorm watch. We'll see what they think, maybe even a tornado watch. Again, a watch means that we're on the lookout for severe weather. Conditions are favorable for the development of severe weather. Warnings mean it's happening, and if you are under a warning, you got to put a plan into action. If it's a severe thunderstorm warning, of course, you just get inside, and even if it's not a severe thunderstorm warning, you got cloud or ground lightning, you're inside. But if you're in a thunderstorm that's gone severe, get into a center room. As long as you're away from windows, you get your tablet, you get your TV, you're good. Get your phone, you're good. Tornado warnings, same thing, center of the house, lowest floor. You live in a 2-story home, it's going to be the first floor, and as many walls between you and the outside. And the only important thing is, as long as you're in a room that doesn't have windows. Not a garage, though, not a garage. Garage doors are pretty weak. Some people think, hey, there's no windows in my garage. No garage. So start thinking about that, because we will have warnings at some point later on today. So that is what's happening, everybody. I can show you the forecast models once again. Anna's saying, do I have time to go cut the grass in Taylor? Go cut it now. Because you got these storms out to the east, cloud or ground lightning. Yeah, you got a good hour and a half if you're in Taylor. Go cut the grass. And then when you're done, I'll send you my address and you can go cut mine. And I will Cash App you, I promise. 93 right now in Austin. Let's take a look at our forecast models again. We'll take a look at the two. This one's showing thunderstorms mainly in hill country. So, I mean, this one's doing okay. I don't know why that. I'm going to load a different one. Hang on. Same one, HRRR. We're going to do the extended. There we go. So, yeah, doing a decent job. A little behind. Big thunderstorms in the hill country. 4 o'clock. I think it's going to be probably closer to 3 o'clock that we'll start to see these storms. Another hour move into western Williamson, western Travis, potentially even north and northwestern Hayes County. So you get the idea. After 3 o'clock, our guard has to start to go up. Williamson, Travis County, Hayes County. And anytime the forecast models start to produce little pinks like that and whites, that's the potential for severe weather. 5 o'clock, I think we've got thunderstorms likely in the metro, moving to eastern counties. So by 5 o'clock, we're on guard in Caldwell and Bastrop and Milam, maybe even areas of Lee County. And then after 5 o'clock, we're watching it in Fayette County. And there's a look at future radar at 6 o'clock, and if you can just kind of pick up the future radar and slide it to the east just a bit, I think that's a little bit better prediction. And there's 7 o'clock again, pick it up and slide it to the east just a bit, and then things start to really wind down by the mid to late evening. One more, we'll look at Watson again. You know, Watson, the supercomputer, he does forecast models now. How about that? I think this one's doing an excellent job. There's the next 30 minutes. Thunderstorm that's in Llano and Burnett County line, kind of near Lake Buchanan. Watson puts it at 2:30 on the Burnett, Travis, Williamson County line. So this would be north of Lago Vista. This is going to be back off towards the west of Liberty Hill, kind of right in this section, kind of near Spicewood, this section right in here. Okay, so that storm could certainly be severe at this point here in 30 minutes. So I think this is doing a really good job of how this is going to take place. Let's go to 3 p.m. 3 p.m., potential for strong to severe storms approaching Georgetown, approaching Round Rock, approaching Cedar Park, approaching Leander as well, and then even up here around the lake. And then you can see thunderstorms still out here in the hill country. That's in the next hour. And then as we go to, let's go to about 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, thunderstorm certainly could be strong or severe. The same one that's out here in Llano and Burnett County at 4 o'clock is out here in Milam County and pushing through also eastern sections of Williamson County. So Thrall and Thorndale, Rockdale, that part of the area, be on the lookout for strong to severe storms during the 4 o'clock hour. So your gentleman was asking, where can I go mow my lawn? You got, you get a good hour to go take care of that. And then notice at 4 o'clock also widespread thunderstorms in Travis County and extending down towards the south. Let's go to 4:30. 4:30 showing thunderstorms increasing around Cedar Creek, approaching Bastrop. Strong to severe storms still possible in Milam and Lee County, Hayes County, Kyle, Buda, San Marcos, Wood Creek, Wimberley, Dripping, Driftwood. We've got thunderstorms for you during the 4 o'clock hour, if not a little bit before that. There's 5 o'clock. Maybe the severe weather risk is now beginning to move off towards the east, but still thunderstorm activity, heavy downpours, cloud to ground lightning. See, the good news with this stuff, I know it's going to ruin maybe some backyard plans this evening, but it's so dang humid outside. This front's going to wring out the moisture. So heavy rainfall, it's going to really drop the humidity. And tomorrow we still have a chance for showers, but nothing all that heavy. And the humidity levels will drop as well because it is just, it's miserable outside yesterday and again for today. There's 6 o'clock, and there you go. As we head into the evening time, sun doesn't set until 7:50, around 7:50. So, if you're out here towards the west, you may have a nice little sunset. And maybe you can still get in that afternoon walk, especially from Austin out towards the west during the 7 o'clock hour. And then by mid-evening, game over. Okay? We are done. So it's a small window, and it's one of those severe weather risks where we're not going to have to be up all night worrying. It's out of here right about sunset. Okay? The only bad part about it is you get a front come in the springtime, and you're humid and you're hot, and it comes in the middle of the afternoon during peak daytime heating, you can have some problems when it comes to severe weather. So we started off the Facebook Live taking a look at this guy who continues not to be severe. It's just a strong thunderstorm moving off towards the east, right over Lake Buchanan. Right now, cloud to ground lightning. Let me pause this and we'll take a look at how much lightning this thing is producing. So anywhere in this red box, 627 cloud to ground lightning strikes right now, high concentration of which right around Buchanan Dam. We'll take a look at hail tracker. Still some small hail possible. A lot of that may even be melting before it even hits the ground. You saw a little bit of blue right there, so it did produce a little bit bigger hail shortly. Take a look at velocity scan, still indicating some strong winds around Buchanan Dam. Also some strong winds and some little bit of rotation up here. So let's take a look at this guy north of Burnett. Okay, so this is going to be south of Lampasas, okay, near Lake Victor, not too far from 281. And you've got some air kind of coming in like this and strong winds coming in out like that. So you do have some broad rotation with this storm. Something for us to keep an eye on, but not too far from Lake Victor and moving about 2 miles to the east of Highway 281, south of Lampasas, north of Burnett. some rotation that we're going to keep an eye on. Take a look at shear rate. Yeah, shear rate's picking it up too. That's from New Braunfels. This one's doing a little bit better job. So again, a little bit of rotation that we will keep an eye on. If I see that get a little bit stronger, yeah, see, it's already gone. See, we don't see so many reds anymore. Those little red pixels indicating winds moving away from the radar, the greens and the blue, turquoise colors, strong winds moving towards the radar. So when you get those guys to kind of meet up together, you can get rotation. I'm not seeing that on the last scan. So I'll back up the radar so you can kind of see what I was looking at. So kind of right there, very, very tiny. And then the last scan, it's gone. But that being said, still some strong winds coming out of the thunderstorm, rear flank downdraft, that's what we call them, downdraft winds coming out of that thunderstorm, right there around Lake Victor. And that one's moving off towards the east. So Briggs, rain on your doorstep. You got some light stuff right now. You just heard a lightning bolt about 2 minutes ago. Boom, it was a good old lightning bolt too. Rain's going to pick up in Briggs, and you've got some strong winds also coming in. 40, maybe as high as 50 miles per hour, but still below severe weather limits. Just going to take a look at, let me just investigate this little thingy right there. Yeah, it's just some strong winds. So that's good. We don't have any big rotating thunderstorms. That's good. We can deal with some lightning and heavy rain, especially when it's not sticking around. These things are moving. This is coming in with a front. All right, so here's the game plan, everybody. We will be back whenever a watcher warning is issued. And I'm hanging out here in the studio through the evening time. And we'll be on TV at 5, 6, and then we'll do Facebook Lives whenever we need to. I'm going to step away right now. The reason is I got to get ready for those newscasts. I want to make sure all my deadlines are met now. That way I have plenty of time with you, maybe during the 3 and 4 o'clock hours. So bottom line is there are thunderstorms developing on the radar right now. They are moving off to the east with a front. We are under an enhanced risk of severe weather. That includes virtually everybody. I'll show you the map so you can kind of find your location. So I know a lot of you are asking about particular locations. If you're in orange, you have the highest risk of seeing a stronger severe thunderstorm as this front comes in. The timeline is Hill Country now during the 3, 4 o'clock hour for the metro. When we talk about metro, we talk about Williamson, Travis, and Hays County. And then as we roll through the latter part of the afternoon, 4, 5, 6 o'clock into the early evening, east the interstate, and by about 8, 9 o'clock, it's all over as the front comes in. We'll have another risk for severe weather and potentially even flash flooding on Saturday. It's just that time of the year. It is springtime in central Texas, and between now and the first couple of weeks of June, it's just busy. That's just where we live and the kind of environment that we have this time of the year in central Texas. So we'll be back, everybody. One quick thing before I leave you. City of Burnett reporting winds 40 to 50 miles per hour with that storm that's moving on in. So let me actually just take a look at that just to show you. Now we have ground reports, right? We were looking at the radar, and the radar was suggesting some intense winds above the surface. Now we know that 40 to 50 mile per hour winds are getting mixed down. It is an interesting radar signature there. I'm going to keep an eye on that. So 40 to 50 mile per hour winds around the city of Burnett, and where you see these little turquoise colors, that's where you have the most intense winds. So that's a look at the timeline. That's a look at the radar. How about this? How about I just mute my microphone and we'll just look at the radar for a few minutes, and then yeah, I'll just leave it like this. How about that? That way I'm not ending it just now. And we'll leave the radar up for you. And then I'll be back here in a little bit. Hey everybody, it's Albert. It is 2:21 for those that are still watching. No active watches or warnings, so we're just leaving the radar up for now. Still keeping an eye on that strong thunderstorm in Burnett County, now beginning to make its way into western and northwestern Williamson County, around the community of Florence. Small hail and strong winds, potentially as high as 50 miles per hour possible with that thunderstorm up in Burnett County, moving into Williamson County. And then we're looking at additional storms developing from south of Blanco into Burnett County, and those are also moving off towards the east. So we do expect the radar to fill in over the next hour to hour and a half, Williamson, Travis, and Hayes County. So we'll keep an eye on that as a front comes on in. As soon as a warning or a watch is issued, I'll jump back on in. We'll do another update, but I'll leave this here for now. That way you can kind of keep an eye on everything. Burnett and also Williamson County. This is the same storm that we've been talking about. That's moving on in. This is a severe thunderstorm moving off towards the east at 40 miles per hour. Concern here is 60 mile per hour wind gust as it continues to move off towards the east. This is over Burnett right now, the community of Burnett. Stand by. I'm going to get a hold of a director here. Hey, can I jump on during programming, our next chance? Yeah. Okay. Okay. I'm going to throw in an IFB and all that anyway. Thank you. Okay. All right, everybody. Getting ready to do a quick little TV update, but what we're tracking right now is a brand new severe thunderstorm warning issued for this storm that we started to track well, over 30 minutes ago, that when it was in Llano County moving into Burnett County, now moving into Williamson County, and could be producing wind gusts as high as 60 miles per hour. So we were watching the velocity scan starting to show those signatures of some increased winds. So we are looking at that severe thunderstorm warning that includes western Williamson and at least portions of northwestern Travis County. First warning of the day, and will likely not be our last. So bear with me on, if you're watching me here on digital, I'm just getting plugged in on some stuff so I can hear my director. And getting ready to jump on TV real quick. And then we'll have a full update for you. Hey, James, can you just pop me up, make sure these monitors are on in here? Check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Check 1, 2, 3. No, I'm going to stay in the Weather Center. If it's easy to do an O box, but if not, I'll just talk over radar for this. I'm not going to be on that long. Perfect, those are on. Cool. Okay, cool, thank you. All right, everybody, we're getting ready here on the TV side to go on TV, at least for a minute. And until we're ready with that, I will show that this thunderstorm is going to move out of Burnett County, and it's already moving into western and northwestern Williamson County around Florence. If you're in Andi, Sun City, Liberty Hill, this storm is headed your direction with the potential of wind gusts as high as 60 miles per hour. Hail tracker has not been all that impressive this afternoon, which is good news, maybe some very small hail, but the reason why the National Weather Service decided to issue this warning was because of a wind threat. I'm going to go on TV for just a second, so hang on.
I'm having a mobile brake job down here. Soon. So.
My mic's hot for digital, just a heads up.
Okay.
Okay.
So if we go back on, just text me.
Okay.
Hey, you're in.
Hi, everybody. It is 2:28. We'll get back to Daily Blast Live in a moment. I do want to share with you.
2.
All right. Hi, everybody. It is 2:28. I hope you're having a good afternoon. We'll get back to Daily Blast Live in a moment. Want to jump on here from the KVUE studios to let you know of a new severe thunderstorm warning issued just in the last couple of minutes. This is a thunderstorm that we've been keeping an eye on in the hill country, now beginning to move into western and northwestern Williamson County. The heaviest part of this thunderstorm is focused in between the Burnett and Williamson County line. The main concern with this storm will be wind gusts as high as 60 miles per hour. This is moving off to the east at 40 miles per hour. Well, I'll continue for the digital side. You just tell me we're back on TV here? All right, everyone, we are back on TV here. Again, I want to let you know at 2:29, we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning in effect for portions of Burnett, much of Williamson County, and extreme northwestern sections of Travis County. It's this thunderstorm moving off towards the east at 40 miles per hour, capable of producing 60 mile per hour wind gusts. This does not include the city of Austin, but if you are in Georgetown, Round Rock, Liberty Hill, Andi, Sun City, Florence, Burnett, Briggs, you are included in this warning. Again, a severe thunderstorm warning issued until 3:15, so another 45 minutes for this storm moving to the east at 40 miles per hour. We'll take a look at hail tracker quickly, and the good news is there's no large hail with this particular thunderstorm. But if we take a look at the velocity scan, this shows us Doppler winds, some intense winds right now, getting closer to Florence and Briggs right now, just outside of Burnett, and all moving off to the east. Anytime you start to see these little turquoise colors, those are showing wind gusts potentially 60 miles per hour, if not a little bit higher. We'll be back on TV here a little bit later on as the storm gets closer to Georgetown and Round Rock, and as the afternoon unfolds, I think we're probably going to have some kind of a watch issued shortly for the KVUE viewing area, so we'll let you know about that. We're also streaming live right now on our Facebook page, our YouTube page, and our Twitter page, so join us there as we continue the conversation. We'll be back on TV as new information comes in. Let's go back to Daily Blast Live. Okay, everybody here on the digital side. Little issue getting on TV there, but you know what? We're back on, and that's good. And we got you here on digital. So that's the latest warning right now of what's happening. If you're curious about the rest of the area, we're good. This particular storm is going to stay to the north of Austin. That being said, what I think is probably going to happen the next 30 to 40 minutes is we'll likely start to see this line of storms fill in. So even though this storm right now is going to be moving through Williamson County, Georgetown, and Round Rock, we may see additional stuff develop right here that could impact Austin within the next hour, hour and a half. All right, so we're watching that. Also watching these little storms starting to get going. They're not super impressive right now in southern Blanco County down towards Bernie, but the atmosphere out ahead of it is so unstable that we are going to keep an eye on those storms either way. So I'm going to check my phone. You need me for anything? Nope. I appreciate you. Thank you. Holler if you need anything.
I need to make sure you don't need anything.
No, I'm good. I'm good. As long as we can get on TV, we're going to be okay today. So the thing about everyone, working from home, and we have a limited staff here in the building, which is fine because health and safety comes first. But this is kind of our first, severe weather season with how things are. But that's fine. We're here for you. We got you, and we'll be good to go. If you are watching us from Georgetown and northward towards Gerald, this is a severe thunderstorm. Gerald and communities back off towards the west of Gerald and Georgetown easily could have wind gusts 50 to 60 miles per hour. Look at all that lightning as well. As a matter of fact, let's zoom in and we'll take a look at just how much lightning there is with just this particular storm, which extends into the Killeen area, into the Bell County area. So we'll do this. We'll put a little box around these storms, and everywhere in that red box showing 805 cloud to ground lightning strikes. Now, 808. Good indicator for those that like to watch storms and keep an eye on this stuff. Good indicator on strengthening storms is number of lightning strikes. If you continue to see a jump in cloud to ground lightning strikes, that's giving us an indication that the thunderstorm is getting stronger. These thunderstorms, as they climb in height, reach the freezing layer of the atmosphere. It could be the hottest day in August. As you go up in height, you're eventually going to reach a portion of the troposphere, which is at or below freezing, and it's these little ice crystals, these little pieces of ice up in the clouds that rub together, creating different charges within the cloud that give you lightning. So if you have an increase in lightning strikes, your storm's getting stronger, whereas if you see a decrease, your storm is getting weaker. So it's holding its own right now. You can see the numbers jumping, 800 this, 800 that, now back up to 812, so we'll keep an eye on that as well. The other thing we're keeping an eye on, not just hail, and thank goodness hail has not been an issue, but it has been with these straight line winds, that are moving into northwestern sections of Williamson County, so right over Florence. Florence, the radar, and we're using the Granger radar. Got to keep an eye on that storm. Let's just kind of take a look at some of these pixels right here. And near Florence, this is showing above the surface 65 mile per hour winds, 70 mile per hour winds. And again, mixing down 55 to 60 is probably a really good bet with wind gusts with this storm. And that one is the one that's headed towards Gerald. So Gerald coming towards you, north of Georgetown, coming towards you. It looks like maybe the most intense part of the storm will stay just to the north of Sun City. But Sun City, you're still going to get the heavy rain. And I wouldn't be surprised if you had some wind gusts around 50 miles per hour. But that is the most intense thunderstorm right now as it's moving off to the east. Again, this is going to stay to the north of Austin. If you're here in the Austin area, we'll have to watch for additional storms developing down here towards the south, but also want to keep an eye on rotation in the atmosphere because a quick spin-up tornado is not out of the question today. The two main concerns, though, will come from damaging winds and hail, but we want to keep an eye on that. So I'm just kind of keep an eye. This is what I call what we call storm relative velocity. So it shows us which direction the raindrops are flying due to the wind, but it also takes into account the forward motion of the storm. So it gets rid of that easterly movement at 40 miles per hour. And this is showing us at least a little bit of rotation right in here. I think that's something to keep an eye on. We'll look at the radar scan. You can see maybe a little bit of an appendage right there. Nothing to really be overly concerned about at the moment, but something to watch. Just keep an eye on the National Weather Service chat there, and we'll come back and zoom on out. So just in the last, this is a look at a 3-hour radar loop, just in the last 30 minutes, you can see how we have a squall line developing or a line of thunderstorms developing. Notice how this activity is starting to all kind of merge together like this. So it's these storms out here, Burnett County, approaching Hayes County, that will eventually impact Austin, and then Hayes County as well, Kyle, Buda, San Marcos. So it looks like what we're going to have this afternoon within the next 30 minutes is a squall line develop like this and then track off towards the east. So if you're wondering, what about us out here towards the east of the interstate, those storms will likely be moving into your area next 2 or 3 hours. So let's take a look at some of the latest forecast models. This is going to be a brand new one that just came out. HRRR, the High Resolution Rapid Refresh. Let's see how good of a job it's doing. 3 o'clock showing those intense storms up in Williamson County, but not maybe doing a great job with this stuff building out here towards the southwest of it. Showing some big storms right over the metro at 4 o'clock. I think probably even a little bit earlier than that by about 30 minutes, maybe during the 3 o'clock hour. And then notice how we have widespread scattered showers and storms from portions of the metro to eastern counties at 5 o'clock, and then starting to wind down after sunset. So as we get closer to 8 o'clock, things get a lot quieter. The model that I think has done probably the best job the last 2 days, this model was not excited about storm chances yesterday. And guess what? We didn't get any storms yesterday. But this one's doing actually a pretty decent job. Again, this is projection, and this is showing right now thunderstorms in Williamson County, we got that, and then some building back off to the southwest of it. Let's go to about 3 o'clock, showing some heavy stuff, Austin northward. Okay, an update on the severe thunderstorm warning. I'll show that to you in just a second. Let's just finish this model out. There's 4 o'clock showing showers and thunderstorms. This one's saying maybe not a whole lot in Hayes County, so I'm not buying this one just yet. And then pretty stormy during the 4 o'clock hour and 5 o'clock hour east of Austin. 6 o'clock, this is showing another surge of thunderstorms south of Austin at 6 o'clock. And then, as we've been saying, the closer we get to sunset, after 7:30, closer to 8 o'clock, things really start to wind down from there. But as we mentioned, we do have a developing squall line, a line of storms. You can kind of see it filling in right now. So the update to the warning is they took Travis County, a little sliver of Travis County was included. They took Travis County out of it, and this is a severe thunderstorm warning just for Williamson County until 3:15. So that stays. We still have a severe storm headed towards, in particular, Gerald. Georgetown, you are included. Georgetown, we'll have to watch this storm that's moving into Liberty Hill. Liberty Hill's about to get some intense wind, intense rainfall. Round Rock, the severe thunderstorm warning does not include you, nor does it include Cedar Park, and at least the middle of Leander. You may have a Leander mailing address if you live to the north, closer to the 29, so 183 and 29. If you live in that part of Williamson County, maybe still a Leander mailing address or Liberty Hill mailing address, you are included in that warning. So there you see the polygon, this little orange box here showing you where the warning is located. There's a look at velocity, intense winds. We're talking 5 to 7 minutes away from Gerald. Probably less than 5 minutes now. So intense winds headed towards Gerald. These are not tornadic winds, but these are straight line winds. I wouldn't be surprised if they were above 60 miles per hour. Doppler radar showing, I'll get rid of the warning here. That way we can take a look at some of these pixels. Holy cow. So above the surface, 80 mile per hour wind gust. At the surface, wouldn't be surprised if they were 70 miles per hour. Jump on, that's worth getting back on TV. Yeah, let's jump on and we'll stay on a little longer this time. Okay. Okay, cool, thank you. So we're gonna jump back on here just because this is a very aggressive storm impacting our friends in Gerald. And it's worth us not only using social media like we are now, but using the television airwaves. And it's Daily Blast Live, so I don't think a whole lot of people will mind us cutting in. I'm going to step out for 1 second. Hang on 1 second. I need to fix something real quick on the weather crawl. Sorry, the weather crawl was, some of the text was not showing up. Okay. All right, let's get on TV whenever we can.
There's no semi. Two. Okay. Two.
Hi, everybody. It is 2:42. Back on TV. We're going to do an extended cut in here, so I think we're going to blow out the rest of Daily Blast Live. Hope you don't mind, but we do have a severe storm up in Williamson County that is showing some signs of intense winds, especially approaching the Gerald area. This is going to be north of Georgetown, so it's worth us covering both here on TV, and we're also streaming on YouTube, Twitter, and on our Facebook page. Just search KVUE. So here's a look at the environment right now. Yesterday and again today, well above average as far as temperatures go, and it's not just hot, it's humid. And unlike yesterday, today we have a front moving into the area. You can see where the front has been, where we have cooling temperatures out towards the west. And on the leading edge of that front, thunderstorms are developing, and some of these are turning severe. So let me get you updated on the latest severe thunderstorm warning. It's up here in Williamson County. Georgetown is included. The communities, though, of Cedar Park, Round Rock, and Leander are not included, although you may have a Leander and even a Liberty Hill mailing address if you live around 183 and Texas 29. But the most intense part of the storm is up here towards the Gerald area. Gerald, the rain is just now picking up for you. You can see the heaviest rain just a couple of miles to the west. But the reason why we've decided to jump back on TV is there are some intense winds headed towards you, potential for 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, if not higher than that. This is from the Doppler Radar out in Granger. It's right there. You see it kind of the bottom right of your screen. May need to bump that up so the crawl's not blocking it. But there you see it. That's the radar. And this is giving us a very good look of just how intense the winds are because it's so close to the radar. So there's a severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 3:15. We'll drop the warning so I can show you the radar is indicating wind speeds just above the surface of maybe as high as 81 miles per hour. Now, that's above the surface, but mixing down could easily see wind gusts 60 to even 70, if not 75 miles per hour. So if you are in Gerald, you want to treat this particular severe thunderstorm like you would a weak tornado. This is not a tornadic storm, but straight line winds of 70 to 75 miles per hour can cause damage and break out windows. So treat this like a tornado warning if you're in Gerald, and just get to the lowest and center part of your home. We're talking about if you live in a two-story home, you get on the first floor and you get in a room, most importantly, that does not have windows. All right, just like you would during a tornado precaution. This isn't a storm shelter kind of storm. If you're in a closet or a pantry or a bathroom, as long as it's a bathroom that doesn't have windows, you're going to be fine. Hang out in there. I'll let you know when it's all clear. Take your tablet, take the iPhone, your Android, hang out there with the kids. Something different as we continue to shelter in place with this passing storm coming on in. So let's take the radar again full, if you don't mind. And there's a look at the intense winds that are coming on in. And I'll show you the movement is off to the east at 40 miles per hour. We'll go back to reflectivity, and along with the intense wind, there's also some intense rainfall that is right now on the Bell and Williamson County line. Now, I know a lot of you are watching from other places outside of Williamson County, and here's what we think will happen over the next hour and a half to 2 hours. We will likely see the radar continue to fill in right here along this boundary from Williamson County into Travis County all the way to Blanco. As these thunderstorms continue to fill in, some of these could even turn strong or severe. We'll take a look at these thunderstorms that are at this point non-severe in northwestern areas of Travis County, and those are moving a little bit closer to Leander. I also want to show you, this just in from the Weather Wire, we have a severe thunderstorm watch that is about to be in place. Let me see if I can get this popped up. It looks like this is going to be issued any minute now and include a good section of our viewing area until 10 o'clock tonight. So that's just now coming down at the Weather Wire, and as soon as that filters in, there you go. All right, so we do have that in pink. Now, a severe thunderstorm watch includes most of the KVUE viewing area. The exception is where the front has already passed. So if you're in Mason, Llano, or Gillespie County, including the communities of Fredericksburg and Stonewall, you're not included in the severe weather risk because the front has already moved off to the east of you. But this severe thunderstorm watch in effect for Burnett, Blanco, Williamson, Travis, Hayes, Caldwell, Bastrop, Lee, Fayette, and Milam County until 10 o'clock. I think most of our counties will be removed from this watch well before 10 o'clock. We'll probably be removed from it in the 8 or 9 o'clock hour. But a severe thunderstorm watch means that severe weather conditions will be possible anywhere in the shaded area. Right now, the warnings where we have active severe weather happening now, and you have to put that action plan into place, is focused up in Williamson County, the Georgetown, Gerald area, northward from there into Bell County around Killeen. But as we were just mentioning before this watch was issued, these storms that are currently non-severe, this stuff, that could easily turn severe over the next several minutes. And that's why we're going to be keeping an eye on this for you as these storms continue to come on in. The reason why we're going to be on TV for you for the next several minutes is I want to just take this just minute by minute with a radar scan as this storm is moving into northern sections of Williamson County. Our friends up in Gerald in particular, the rain is coming down in buckets now. And let's take a look at hail tracker. A little bit of hail within this thunderstorm, focused back off towards the west by about 3 or 4 miles of Gerald. This is non-severe hail. So the reason why the warning is out is because of straight line damaging wind threat and not a hail threat. We may certainly see some hail producers later today, big hail producers, but at this point, I'll zoom back in. At this point, it's just a damaging wind threat. And you see the turquoise or blue colors. That's showing you where you have the most intense winds right now, potentially around 70, if not 75 miles per hour. The official warning, if you got it on your phone or you see it at the bottom of your screen, if you're watching this on the TV side with the crawl, the Weather Service is saying wind gusts, 60 plus. Based on the latest radar scans, and we're lucky to have a radar not that far away out in Granger, there are some embedded areas above the surface that could have wind gusts 70, 80 miles per hour, and that's why mixing to the ground 60 to 75 mile per hour gusts will certainly be possible. And if you are in the Gerald area, I'd love to hear from you. If you want to jump on Facebook or if you want to jump on even email, shoot me an email and let me know the kind of weather conditions you were seeing there, and that will help. Wow, you can help us in a big way. So don't let this number freak you out. This number is showing velocity winds of 100 miles per hour. Keep in mind that is above us. That's up, not that far above us, but it's above us. And mixing down towards the ground, you can certainly see some much higher wind gusts. It looks like we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has just been posted, and it's because of this storm in southern areas of Blanco County. This is a thunderstorm that's moving off towards the northeast at 20 miles per hour. I'll do a storm track here in just a second. Main concern with this thunderstorm, this new warning, is going to be hail. And you can see the radar has some little white pixels there. That's the radar indicating hail, where a hail core is developing. So let's do a track on this. And it's getting busy now. You can hear the computers behind me. We've got the active warning starting, and it's going to be just the start of a busy afternoon. But that's why we are here for you both on TV and streaming on our digital channels, just in case you lose power. So let's break this down, and we'll bounce between these two thunderstorms. And again, we'll start with the new warning, and then we'll come back and revisit the Gerald thunderstorm in just a moment. So let's freeze this. And again, this is the thunderstorm that's moving off towards the northeast at 20 miles per hour. So with that, we'll do a storm track, and I'll adjust my forward speed just a bit. It's a slow mover, but the main concern with this thunderstorm is going to be hail, potentially the size of quarters, if not a little bit bigger. So we've got this on its current forward motion, moving into Dripping Springs by 3:04, so in 14 minutes. Dripping, though, I will tell you that I think the forward speed on this guy is probably going to pick up just a little bit. So as the forward speed picks up, may get there before 3:04. So just know that. And then moving into southwestern Travis County, say by 3:05 to 3:10. So let's keep an eye on this. If you're out around Bee Cave, if you live around the Hill Country Galleria, if you live out around Oak Hill, we'll watch this thunderstorm. But this particular thunderstorm, although it's not that big right now, it is about to move into an environment that is very unstable. We're talking about heat, humidity, instability that is very high. We didn't have storms materialize yesterday, so we kept all the instability and moisture from yesterday and added even more on top of it with today's high temperature so far at 93 here in Austin. So we really need to be on the lookout, especially from metro eastern counties, for some severe weather over the next few hours between now and the early evening. I think we're pretty much done with it by 8 or 9 o'clock. but because we have instability in heat, I don't want to say off the charts, but very elevated, the highest amounts I've seen since last spring, we do have that severe weather risk. And that's why if you're shaded in that Pepto-Bismol pink, you're under a severe thunderstorm watch until 10 o'clock. I think the severe weather threat will end by 10 o'clock, but that's from the Storm Prediction Center. So let's go back to our severe thunderstorm that's up here in Williamson County, not in the Round Rock area, but you do have thunderstorms building off towards the west of Round Rock, moving into Leander right now, moving into Cedar Park, the Lakeline area within the next 10 minutes. But the most intense thunderstorm is now focused in over I-35 and moving off towards the east of I-35 around New Corn Hill, Weir, approaching Granger and Bartlett. And let's take a look at Doppler winds again, and you can see some intense winds. Here's the scale up here. Let me circle it for you. So you see the scale here on the left side of your screen. Anytime you start to see these turquoise colors right in here and then darker, that is Doppler radar indicating wind speeds within the thunderstorm above the surface at severe weather limits. And you saw just a few minutes ago that the Doppler radar was indicating some of these much darker areas of blue as high as 100 miles per hour. Not to say that we're going to have 100 mile per hour wind gusts, but that you could certainly get 80 mile per hour wind gusts at the surface. So yeah, so this one, and the one that I'm pixelating is this right in here. This is going to be about, I'd say, 8 miles to the due east of Gerald around FM 487, East Farm to Market 487. Potential for wind gusts in the 80 mile per hour range, not tornadic winds, but straight line damaging winds, downdraft winds that can cause just as much damage as a weak tornado. So again, you want to treat this particular severe thunderstorm like you would a tornado warning by being in a room that does not have windows. If you live in a 2-story home, it's the first floor. The key is lowest and most center part of your home, bathroom, closet, pantry. And as long as you're in there hanging out, kids, you're good. As long as you're in there, you're going to be safe. You got your tablet, you're hanging out with your family for the last couple of days. This is the most exciting thing to happen to you, being together for about 3 weeks. But as long as you're in that safe spot, you're going to be A-okay, all right? And then once the storm passes, you're going to be good, and then we'll continue with our day. I just want you away from a room that has windows, just because if you do get a 70 or 80 mile per hour wind gust, it can bring down a branch from a tree, break out the window, and we don't want that. You know what I mean? The last place we want to hang out is going to be an emergency room, so that's why I want you in that area. So let me see what this new warning is. So this is just an extension to the severe thunderstorm that we have been watching, and this now includes eastern sections of Williamson County. This does include the communities of Taylor. Hutto is not included, although you may have a Hutto mailing address. If you live just north of, say, 79, I know a lot of you do, a lot of new neighborhoods popping up there. But Taylor, you are included, as well as Granger. You're included with a storm that's moving on in. So let me just read the latest statistics with this new warning that has popped up, which does also include Taylor and Thrall. I should mention that. Moving off towards the east now at 45 miles per hour, so the forward speed has picked up just a bit. And again, the main concern are going to be straight line winds, 60 miles per hour, if not higher than that. We'll go back to velocity scan. That has been very helpful out of the Granger radar. And again, where the blues, the turquoise are, that's where you have the most intense winds, and you can kind of see the forward motion is off towards the east. Starting to improve maybe just a little bit in Gerald. It's still wild outside. And if you're in Gerald watching me and you're in that safe space, give it another about 5 minutes, and then you can go on with your day, all right? But Bartlett, that strong thunderstorm wind gust, I wouldn't be surprised, maybe as high as 80 miles per hour headed towards you. So that is severe thunderstorm number 1. We'll broaden out the view, and we'll take a look at severe thunderstorm number 2, and then I want to investigate this other stuff that's not severe at the moment, but certainly could be. So here's a severe thunderstorm number 2, and the good news with this guy is it doesn't look to be as intense as it was just a few minutes ago. And the reason why I say that is, I'll back up the radar. When we were looking at it right in here, see those little whites and pinks pop up? That's the Doppler radar pinging off some hail, and notice that we don't see those whites anymore. So it's a bigger storm as far as coverage goes, but it is not maybe producing as much hail, and that's good news. There's a look at hail tracker that has this storm moving off towards the northeast at about 20 miles per hour. Okay, just keeping an eye on the National Weather Service chat there. We have a nice little direct line with them and emergency managers and can get information and pass it on to you immediately. But those are the two areas of severe weather right now, up here in Williamson County, and this one coming in out of Blanco County. And let's just investigate these two other storms that are non-severe at the moment, but they're worth to investigate just because the environment that they are in is conducive for additional severe weather. So right now we're zooming in to the northwest corner of Travis County, southwest corner of Williamson County. So there you see Leander, the Whitestone area, Lakeline Mall area, big thunderstorm there. We'll take a look at hail tracker, nothing to worry about there. We'll take a look at Doppler winds from both of our radars, no problems. It's just a garden variety storm, has cloud ground lightning, so obviously time to come inside. If you can hear thunder in the distance, you're close enough to be struck by lightning. So as we tell the kids during our school presentations, when the thunder roars, come indoors, and that's what you want to do with that one. This other little thunderstorm here, not even producing lightning, so it's not even that impressive, at least at the moment. And we'll take a look at hail tracker, and we'll take a look at the velocity scan. Just to let the control room know, James will go to 3 o'clock, and then we'll send it back to programming. So about another 2 minutes. So here's a look at the forecast for the rest of the day. This is what we'll do for the next 2 minutes before we send you back to the 3 o'clock hour on KVUE. And then we'll be back as warranted. A front is coming in, and it is encountering a hot and humid air mass right in here. So we will likely see additional severe thunderstorm warnings issued. So if you're in Bastrop, if you're in Giddings, if you're in LaGrange, it is hot, it is humid. Know that as the next few hours go on, especially as we get closer to 5 and 6 o'clock, your severe weather risk will increase. And with that, we do have that severe thunderstorm watch in effect for most of the KVUE viewing area, including all of the Austin Metro, until 10 o'clock. Let's take a look at future radar. I'm going to load a different one that I think has done a really nice job. And we'll take this into the future. And notice here by 4 o'clock in the next hour, thunderstorms, heavy, Travis, Williamson, Milam County, this particular model, which is just a simulation, not picking up on this stuff down towards the southwest. So know that we could certainly have thunderstorms in Hayes County and focused off to the south and southwest from there. And then as we roll through the 5 o'clock hour, notice how we have some intense thunderstorms, some of which could be severe in our eastern counties, Bastrop, Caldwell, Lee, Milam, and Fayette County. Potentially another band of heavy rain during the 6 o'clock hour. But sunset's just before 8 o'clock nowadays, and notice with the setting sun and the front passing to our south, things really wind down. So it's really between now and 8 o'clock, the next 5 hours, that things could be a little on the wild side. That's why I think that severe thunderstorm watch will be canceled before 10 o'clock. We're here at the station, at least I am. We've got Hunter playing backup at home. We got you covered for the rest of the day. We're going to continue streaming live on our website, on the KVUE News app, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Twitter. We got you covered. We'll be back on TV as conditions continue for the rest of the day. If we get another warning, I'll come back and let you know here on the TV side. Have a good, safe afternoon. We'll see you soon. Okay, so we're back here on the digital side. I was just doing a TV update. We'll hold off for the TV stuff. Yeah. Got Inside Edition anyway. So we'll do another cut in on TV here in a little bit. Again, focused in on 2 severe thunderstorms. And Hunter, if you're watching right now, if you could, actually I'm just going to text you. Okay, catch my breath a little bit. Let me take this full. I'm going to grab a drink of water here. So we're just going to be watching storms all day. We've got Hunter and Jason, Madiel. Everyone's kind of watching this. I'm based here in the station, but they have access to all of our weather computers. So that's why I say we got you covered. And we'll probably be hanging out with you for the foreseeable future, at least for the next few hours. And then we'll be live on TV at 5 and 6 o'clock. And then as we get towards the middle part of the evening, things are going to get a lot calmer around here. And thank goodness for our fantastic weather staff. They're helping me a lot with behind the scenes stuff that's got to get going. So, okay, I want to take a look at something in Williamson County. Let me just get a sip of water real quick. Hang with me. All right. You got to stay hydrated, everybody. Here's what we got going on up in Williamson County. Weather Service just giving us a heads up on this. A little bit of rotation that we're going to keep an eye on. So let's take a look at this. Okay. Cool. Thank you, Hunter. A little bit of rotation. The National Weather Service, Aaron Treadway, who is a fantastic, especially radar meteorologist, says that this radar up in Williamson County showing at least a little bit of rotation possible. So they've updated this particular warning to mention that. What they have mentioned is straight line winds, heavy rain, but enough evidence on radar that they've added a mention of maybe a tornado developing within this storm. So who are we talking about? We're talking right around the Granger area. And let's rely on our Doppler winds real quick if you're watching it from this part of Williamson County. And keep in mind, this is north of Austin, this is north of Round Rock, this is north of Georgetown, and moving off to the east. So we're mainly talking about northeastern Williamson County. And then if you live in Milam County, we want to watch the storm as well. But let's clean this up. See how it's real messy? That's why you use shear, and shear can kind of just clean everything up and show you where you have maybe the most spin in the atmosphere. So I'm going to get rid of even the shading of the warning. And notice here, showing some rotation to the south, and probably at this point to the southeast of Bartlett. Okay, so that's where we have potential for some rotation and potentially a tornado developing there. There's not enough evidence at this point for them, and by them I mean the National Weather Service, for them to issue a tornado warning, but it's a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. So they started this a few years ago. They add these little kind of heads up tags that there's some rotation, we're watching it, you should watch it too, and if things change, we'll let you know, kind of a thing. But it's passing right over the radar, and if you're curious, you see how there's this donut hole right in here? They call that the cone of silence. Basically what's happening is the radar beam goes out, but it can't sense anything hitting the top of the radar, right? So it can only see what's going out above, as it scans, and not above it. So you call that the cone of silence. And you'll see when the radar fills in, you'll have this little perfect circle around the radar beam. So that's just to put the conspiracy theorists to rest right now. Just tell them a little bit of science. A little bit of hail with this storm, but the main concern is going to be straight line winds. Some of the heaviest winds is on the Bell and Williamson County line from just north of Granger, near the radar there, into Bell County to the south of Salado. This is all going to be northeastern sections of Williamson County, southeastern sections of Bell County, and moving off to the east at about 45 miles per hour. Let me see if they have updated that forward speed. They haven't. They're still saying 45 miles per hour for that one. Gosh, there's some just really wicked winds with this storm that's coming on in. I'm just going to give it a scan on the radar from New Braunfels. It's just a little too far away, so we'll utilize Granger radar. But if you are in eastern Williamson County, including the Taylor area, and then moving closer to Thrall and eventually even Thorndale, this is a straight line wind issue for you, meaning that you'll have thunderstorms with winds blowing out ahead of them, 60 plus miles per hour coming in out ahead of them. Yeah, a little breezy here in Austin, but still no big storms here. Mike, are you trying to tell me something with your mask?
No.
Mike Wallace, who's our fantastic engineer who's helping us out, he's got his mask because I would do a mask too, but it would be all muffled. It wouldn't sound very good. So it's been a minute since I've been able to take a look at your comments. So I don't mean to ignore you, but we still had a good audience showing. Jessica, thank you so much for that update. Jessica, who's watching from Gerald, says winds have slowed down here. So Gerald, I'm going to give you the all clear. That was several minutes ago. I meant to give that to you a bit, but the intense part of this thunderstorm has passed through Gerald. Jessica, holler at me. How bad were the winds? Let us know. I'm curious about that. Lisa says, sounds like Leander is getting hit hard. So let's take a look at, let's go back and look at the big radar view. Okay, thank you, Colleen. Colleen is part of our digital team who's giving me a heads up on the Lake Travis area. We got some heavy rain, lightning, but non-severe weather around Lake Travis. We're still watching this thunderstorm that is now moving into Dripping Springs. This thunderstorm capable of producing large hail, although the last couple of scans haven't been super impressive when it comes to hail with this one. But Dripping, it's on your doorstep and coming on in. Driftwood, you're next. It looks like the most intense part of the storm will stay just north of Wimberley. But that being said, the last radar scan, let me turn off lightning here. You got a little bit of white showing up right here. Probably about 7 miles back off, maybe even more than that, maybe even 9 miles back off towards the due west of Wimberley. Let's see how good I am. Ooh, 8 miles. It was close. That's where we have a hail core developing. So Wimberley, Wood Creek, let's watch this one as this is moving off towards the east as well. And if you're watching me from Kyle and Buda and even San Marcos, it's going to be this thunderstorm activity from western Hays County into Comal County that will be swinging in your neck of the woods. So let's see what Quita says. Quita's jealous that I'm here at the station. Thank you, Quita. And Terry, who is also at home. Thank you, Terry. Terry giving me an update from the Marble Falls area. Now, Marble Falls is on the drier, more stable side of this front, and Terry's telling me they've got some sunshine poking through there in Marble Falls. Cool. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, so thunderstorm warning out here in Williamson County. Let's come back to that one. I know it feels like I'm all over the place, but I'm keeping an eye on the Weather Service, and as soon as new information comes out, I want to communicate that to you as soon as possible. But they've updated the verbiage just a little bit with a warning for this particular storm to say potential for wind gust in northeastern Williamson County's high 70 miles per hour. We started talking about that 15 minutes ago when we started to see those pixels near Jarrell of 80, 85 miles per hour above the surface, mixing down potentially in the 70 mile per hour range. So yeah, that's still an aggressive thunderstorm. Let's take a look at velocity real quick at a Granger. Yeah, so these are the colors you want to pay attention to now. The difference, this is velocity, everybody. Velocity shows us Doppler winds, right? So in your greens, in your blues, kind of all these colors, right in here, those are strong winds moving towards the radar, right? So that is winds coming in like that. Then you get into these reds and oranges. Those are strong winds going away from the radar side like that. So that's kind of the winds on the radar. That's why you see those different colors like that. So these are showing still intense winds from Granger northward into Bell County. But look at these intense winds right here moving through eastern sections of Williamson County. So let's zoom in, and if you are in Thrall, this severe thunderstorm is on your doorstep. If you're in Thrall, and I'd hate to be driving on 79 right now between Taylor and Thrall, and eventually Thrall and Thorndale, these are winds potentially as high as 70 miles per hour. We'll do a little pixelation here, and I'll drop the warning first, and we'll see how intense these winds are. So Doppler winds above the surface, I mean, look at that. So that, again, that's above the surface by not that much. So 70 plus mile per hour wind gusts possible with this thunderstorm that's moving into eastern sections of Williamson County. And that's moving into Thrall right now. Damaging winds moving into Thrall right now. Damaging wind threat beginning to move away from Taylor. Hutto, you're in good shape. Round Rock, you're in good shape right now. But Thrall and Thorndale, watch this storm as it's moving off towards the east. Let me get the latest statistics from the Weather Service on that. They've got this moving off to the east at 45 miles per hour. So with that, we'll do a storm track on it. East at 45, we'll adjust our speed, and we've got it moving into Thrall now, 311, moving into Thrall now, moving into Thorndale at 322, if not before 322, so another 10 minutes or so. Salty, and then Rockdale. So Rockdale, we've got to watch this storm for you. Even if you live in northern sections of Lee County, Lexington northward, watch those storms as they kind of maybe pass and clip just northern areas of Lee County. But again, that's a severe storm. That's the most intense storm on the radar right now. potentially producing as high as 70 plus mile per hour winds. And there are some interesting signatures on this Doppler radar that we want to watch as well. I'm going to take a look at shear, see if we have any kind of intense rotation. Nothing at the moment. That's really good. Yeah, it's straight line winds, everybody. It seems like last spring, if you're watching us last spring, about this time into May, we had some big severe weather events in this part of the viewing area, eastern Williamson into Milam County. It was weekend after weekend. I felt like Milam County, you guys were getting hit by something, and here comes the latest storm. So we'll back out, we'll do a reset for everyone that is watching right now. There we are here in Austin at 87. There are no active warnings right now for the city of Austin. That can change within the hour, with this storm especially coming in out of the southwest in Hayes County around Dripping Springs, moving off to the northeast, so we're watching that. That could certainly bring us some issues here in the city of Austin. The most intense thunderstorm is on the fringe of our viewing area, northeastern and eastern sections of Williamson County, moving into Milam County. Friends in Milam County, unless they have a good antenna, can't see us on TV, on cable or satellite, but we cover them still because we like to make sure our friends in Rockdale and Cameron and surrounding areas are in the know. And those are the thunderstorms, the two thunderstorms that are the biggest issues right now. Let's come and investigate this particular thunderstorm that's in Hayes County, again, moving closer to Dripping Springs. I'll take this full for 1 second. That's the one that's moving off towards the northeast at about 20 miles per hour. And we can do a storm track on that. We got the, okay, got our storm chaser out asking me where he would like me to send him. So we're going to send him to intercept this storm, sending him to Oak Hill, intercept this storm, and then continue with it as it moves off towards the northeast. Because it'll be this one. If you're here watching in the Austin area, it's this guy that's going to be our problem, I think. And with temperatures, again, still in the upper 80s and low 90s, we'll have some issues with this storm. Straight line winds look to be the main concern at this point so far today, but we also can't rule out some big hail producers as well. The storm that's moving closer to Dripping Springs, not showing super strong winds. There's some gusting winds for sure, probably in the 40 mile per hour range, headed towards Wimberley and Wood Creek right now. Dripping, it just looks to be heavy rain for you, with some lightning and some heavier downpours moving in from the west. So it's not a fun drive right now on 290 between Dripping and the 281 exit into Blanco County. And again, that thunderstorm, as of the last warning, was moving northeast at 20, and it continues northeast at 20. So we'll do a storm track on that. Storm track like that. Let's see when it gets to Austin. So on its current heading, northeast at 20 miles per hour, we've got it moving into Bee Cave at, first Driftwood, moving to Driftwood now. Bee Cave at 320, Circle C neighborhood at 323, Oak Hill at 324, Lost Creek at 326, Barton Creek Square at 328, downtown Austin in about 15 minutes. So we'll watch that. Domain, North Austin, just after that at 332 as that storm continues to move on in. Patrick goes, your phone flashlight's on. Thank you, Patrick. I was wondering why my battery was being drained. Just a second, everybody. I am juggling some stuff here, delegating some stuff, and I'll be with you in just a second. Getting some thunder now here at KVUE with some lightning a couple of miles away in North Austin. Okay. Okay, we're back. Don't let your babies grow up to be a chief meteorologist. I'm just gonna say that. Okay, let's get back to it, everybody. Those that are watching us, what we have is a front coming on in. This front coming in with heavy rain, lightning, potential for some large hail, also potential of straight line winds. We're still sitting here in Austin at 87 degrees. And as this front comes in and encounters this intensely warm, humid, unstable atmosphere, we are going to have at least the potential for severe weather. That's why most of the area, including all of the Austin metro, is under a severe thunderstorm watch until 10 o'clock. I think the severe weather risk will end well before 10 o'clock, but we're going to keep an eye on that either way as these storms move from east to west. The thunderstorms that are currently in eastern, northeastern Williamson County into Milam County, biggest concern there are going to be from straight line winds. The storm coming in out of Hayes County, moving off to the northeast, that will be moving into southwestern Travis County, so Oak Hill, Bee Cave, Circle C, southwest Austin, those coming in with some gusty winds and potential for some hail as well. The good news is this stuff is not sticking around. Notice how quick it's going. Its forward speed's good. So flash flooding isn't a big issue. Could have some low water crossings that have some water flowing over them for at least a little bit. But if you've lived in Austin for any period of time, you know flooding is our biggest issue here. And the good news is this stuff is not back building to the southwest or hanging out. It's on the move. And I think our severe weather threat is going to be a little bit finished even earlier than we were thinking earlier this afternoon, which is fantastic because then we can enjoy our late afternoon and evening. Hill country, you're good. If you are in the hill country, your severe weather threat is over in Mason, Llano, and Gillespie County. The severe weather threat coming to an end right now in Burnett and Blanco County. We do have some lingering areas of rain near Spicewood and some lingering areas of rain near Blanco. I'm going to let those kind of scoot on out and then we'll give you the all clear. But notice how things are already improving out in the hill country with temperatures there cooling into the 60s and 70s. A combination of both a front coming in, but also rain-cooled air. And that north wind, if you're in the hill country, feels certainly nice. Where the air is still very humid and unstable is right along the front and east of the front. And it's in this area that we really got to watch closely for additional severe weather as the afternoon and early evening go on. So let's take this opportunity to load our new forecast model. Haven't done this in about an hour, but let's take a look at it again. Amanda, we'll get back to Thorndale in just a moment. Hang with me. Let's go through this forecast, and then we'll take a look at those storms out in the Thorndale area. So still doing a good job showing over the next hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes, now through 5 o'clock, main focus for thunderstorms, metro, along the interstate, and back off to the east. So within the hour, if you are in Bastrop, if you are in Caldwell, those thunderstorm chances are going to increase for you. And within the next hour and a half, if you're in Lee and Fayette County, those thunderstorm chances will increase for you as well. So that's a look at 5 o'clock. Let's go to 6 o'clock and let's go to 7 o'clock. And still, showing by the time we head into the late afternoon into the early evening, things start to improve across the area, and then we'll start to notice that severe weather risk come way down, maybe down to zero for the area by 8 o'clock. So it's not going to be one of those days where we're watching thunderstorms in the overnight or any kind of business like that. It's an afternoon, early evening event, and then we're going to be in good shape. So let's focus in on the two severe storms we have. Amanda wants to talk about the storm up around Thorndale. That's still a severe storm. So let's start with that one, and then we'll come back to the one around Dripping Springs. So let's zoom in. We'll show you what's happening here. So right now, we're looking at a severe thunderstorm warning that is in effect still for eastern sections of Williamson County and most of Milam County. I want to load here our Doppler winds. There are some very intense winds. Amanda, if you're in Thorndale, what are you seeing? What you feeling there? You probably have some crazy winds that are coming on in, and those intense winds are focused right along Highway 79. If you're in Rockdale, this is a thunderstorm that will be there in about 5 to 8 minutes, less than 10 minutes. It's coming on in, and it's going to be rain, and then it's going to be some very strong winds, potentially 60 to 70 miles per hour. So that is an intense thunderstorm. This let's take a look at this new warning. And they have this moving to the east at 45 miles per hour with wind gusts at least at 65. So again, that's a severe thunderstorm warning that includes nearly all of Milam County. And we mentioned about 10 minutes ago that I wanted our friends in northern Lee County to watch. Yeah, let's watch it. Lexington, and then if you live just off towards the west of Lexington, kind of here in kind of the horn of Lee County, this severe thunderstorm is probably going to impact you as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Weather Service maybe extend this warning to include portions of Lee County over the next few minutes. So Lexington, again, let's watch it as that storm is coming towards you as well. Straight line winds, 60 plus miles per hour with that storm. Rhonda says it is bad in Thorndale with those winds and heavy rain. Wow, do we have some heavy rain over you as well. A little bit of a hail core developing just north of Thorndale, but below severe weather limits when it comes to hail, probably very tiny hail. Peas and melting relatively quickly. The big concern with this guy is going to be from straight line winds. The other thing that we're going to keep an eye on is rotation within this thunderstorm. We'll take a look at that. Yeah, one thing that kind of caught my eye is we do have a little bit of a hook developing here. So what that's telling me is we've got some very intense winds like this. We call that the rear flank downdraft, intense winds blowing out of the thunderstorm, but you also have warm, humid air wrapping in like that. And you have to watch these little areas, these little hook areas, because you can get quick little spin-up tornadoes. I'm not seeing evidence of that right now on the velocity scan. Definitely strong winds coming out of the storm, but no intense rotation. That's good news. Maybe above the surface a little bit of rotation, but something to keep an eye on nonetheless, all right? There you go. I'm a little rusty on tracking severe weather on my buttons here. It's been a while, but we're getting a practice in today, aren't we? So this particular thunderstorm moving off to the east and maybe even just a tad to the southeast at about 45 miles per hour. So with it, let's do a storm track, and then we'll come back and talk about the one in Hayes County. So we've got this one at 45 miles per hour. We'll do kind of a storm track like that, kind of moving something like that. And you can see how it moves into Rockdale shortly, probably before that. Rockdale, I think you're going to see those winds really pick up probably before that. And then Milano just before the top of the hour as those storms continue to move off towards the east. Okay, so let's come on back to Metro. The thunderstorm that's currently around Round Rock and Hutto, and out here towards even the Taylor area. For the most part, these are just downpours, lightning. We'll look at hail tracker. There's no hail. We'll take a look at velocity. Winds aren't that impressive. So thankfully, Round Rock, it's just a thunderstorm. Cloud to ground lightning, the main concern, and it's scooting off towards the east. We talked about this about 30 minutes ago, how we would have the radar fill in to more of a solid squall line, and that's what we're seeing, is that front is encountering this humid air mass. One thing we want to watch within the next 30 minutes is for these storms that are currently in western Travis County. I'll zoom into them in just a second. But these storms, as they get kind of out here from downtown to the east, to see if they increase in intensity, meaning they go from a normal garden variety storm like they are now to a severe storm. I have a feeling that may happen just because the environment out here to the east of the interstate is super, super primed with instability and moisture. So we'll watch that. This continues to be a severe storm in Hayes County. Let's come back and take a look at this storm. Wimberley, rain's picking up, heavy downpours, about to move into Wimberley in about 3 minutes, coming in from the west. You got the lightning now. We'll take a look at hail tracker. Some very teeny tiny hail along the Blanco River moving into Wimberley, may not even make it to the ground, so that's good. I was really afraid this morning when I was looking at everything that this was going to be not such a great day when it comes to hail. It was going to be a headache dealing with big hail producers, but so far it's just been wind. And we do have some strong winds, 40 mile per hour-ish, 40 to 45 around Wimberley. They still have this warning up here around Dripping Springs. I'm not seeing any evidence that that storm's severe anymore, both on hail tracker nor on Doppler winds. Okay, yeah. So we're good with that storm. I bet you they'll let that warning drop shortly. Let me see. Oh, they at 3:18. Has that not dropped yet? Let me see real quick. Sometimes the computer here does not do a great job of dropping these polygons if they cancel them early. 3:30. So it does appear that they did allow that to be canceled. Okay, good. Or at least part of it, trimmed it out. Okay, so like we mentioned 5 minutes ago, we'd have to watch northern Lee County. Weather Service is just about to issue a severe thunderstorm warning to include the northern corner of Lee County. So Aaron Treadway, meteorologist at the National Weather Service, saying the threat is beginning to move out of Williamson County, but they're issuing a new warning downstream for northern areas of Lee County and northern Bastrop County as the winds could drive to the south into the east. So issued just there, popped up just now, severe thunderstorm warning now. Main concern here will be 60 mile per hour winds. This does include a sliver of northeastern Bastrop County, right around 290. McDade, you're included. And notice Lee County, a good chunk of Lee County included. Giddings, Lexington, Lincoln, Dimebox, you're all included in this severe thunderstorm warning. The main concern will come from straight line winds with this thunderstorm, 60, 65 miles per hour winds possible. So we were kind of tracking that a few minutes ago. Hopefully you got the good heads up. And notice how these storms continue to kind of hold their own as these warnings build off to the east. And I'm telling you, I think that's what's going to happen with this storm out here in western Travis County as it moves off to the east. So we got to watch that one closely over the next several minutes. So let me just show it to you on the map here, that new severe thunderstorm warning until 4:30, so another hour for the community. Elgin, you're also included in that severe thunderstorm warning, as well as McDade along 290 in Bastrop County. It looks like Page, you're at least in the corner of this polygon. Giddings, Lincoln, Lexington, our friends in Lexington, you're also included. Within the next 10 minutes, you're going to notice the winds picking up big time around Lexington. Okay. Amanda, thank you for the update. Amanda says, Amanda was asking about the Thorndale area, having big issues there. Internet power out, it sounds like, or at least no TV. Hey, Lee Caldwell. Lee's saying it's getting chilly outside. Yeah, it's a front. So as soon as you feel, the storms pass, then you feel that north wind and it's cooling, that's stable, drier air, and your severe weather risk diminishes. That's why severe weather risk has ended for most of the hill country. This is stable, cooler air in the hill country. This is kind of the active stuff from the interstate back off towards the east as this front continues to come on in. How about that drawing? Definitely not an artist. So that's the thunderstorm that we have right there. Looks like they're not issuing a warning, at least not just yet. Weather Service. So the storm that's headed into San Marcos, and that's over Wimberley, they've dropped the warning on it. Still a strong thunderstorm. They have it moving off to the east at 25 miles per hour. And the main concerns with a strong storm, it's no longer severe, half-inch hail, and so the size of a dime, and 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts. So it's a strong storm. Let's do a storm track on it, moving east at 25 miles per hour. We'll do something like that. So San Marcos and Kyle and Buda, you know what's going on. So Mountain City, our friends in Mountain City, moving in next 5-6 minutes. Buda in about 8 minutes. Kyle in about 10 minutes. San Marcos at 3:46. Creedmoor at 3:49. The San Marcos Regional Airport at 3:51. Reedville, I know Reedville's watching. Reedville always watches at 3:53. We got a strong storm headed your direction. Right now, winds 40 mile per hour, maybe some small hail, but keep in mind, between now and the top of the hour, this storm could go back to severe. We could see an uptick in this activity in Travis and Hayes County over the next several minutes. Okay, so let's come back to Austin. It's been a while since we've talked about Austin because it's been non-severe, so I'm not ignoring Austin. But the rain picking up here at KVUE located Mopac and Steck area in North Austin. There you see the label, and we've got a little rain outside the station right now, but not much in the way of lightning. It's just downpours, and that extends out towards Jollyville and extends out towards Leander. Leander, rain picking up again. Lakeline Mall area, also portions of Round Rock, you'll see that rain continue, but it's non-severe, and that's good news. We've got some good downpours right now around 620, approaching 360, some nice rain coming on in. I see it raining out at Lake Travis from our Oasis camera, but it's non-severe. So far so good, it's just rain. And it's not a lot of lightning either. Downtown, we've got the rain moving in, and then down here towards the south into Hayes County, a little bit more aggressive thunderstorm, non-severe. We'll look at hail tracker, maybe some teeny tiny hail, no big deal, and we'll look at velocity. That looks good too, so we're in good shape there. Let's bounce back up to Lee, Williamson, and Milam County, and Caldwell, Bastrop, Fayette County. We haven't said your name a whole lot, right? These storms are headed your direction, and I think you're actually kind of in a little bit better environment for severe weather than even Austin. So we'll hang out with you, and we'll let you know if anything bananas happens for you over the next several minutes. But it's 3:30, everybody, and I think these storms are going to be out of here by 6:30, like out of our entire area. I love that. If we can get storms to move out of here before my lunch break, it's a good it's a good day. But there's the intense thunderstorms that are in Milam County. Whew, moving into Rockdale. Rockdale, what, just last like 5 minutes, it really picked up for you, didn't it? Thorndale, it's not as intense as it was 10 or 15 minutes ago, right? That's that activity moving away from you. But Milam County is just getting hammered. That's the meanest storm on the radar right now. And there's a look at velocity. And again, there's 60, 65, potentially even higher than that wind gust still with a storm. So that is on your doorstep, Lexington. Our friends in Lexington, you've got a little shower right now, but the intense winds, let's go back to Doppler winds out of the Granger radar. See them? You're going to see those winds increase next 3 to 5 minutes, if they're not already increasing right now. So that's coming on in to you right now. Okay, I'm going to refresh Facebook. It doesn't look like I'm getting your comments. So if you do lose power, we got you covered here on digital. And we'll jump on TV at some point as well, but we'll wait to see if we get any other additional warnings. Our friends at Pergnalis Electric Co-op giving us a little message there with links and phone numbers. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. Okay. So yeah, Lexington picking up right now. That's a severe thunderstorm that not only includes Lexington, but also includes Lincoln and Giddings, Elgin, McDade, Page, with that storm moving off towards the east-southeast at about 40 miles per hour, okay? But the activity that's over Austin right now, it's just rain. That's, a little downpour, knocking out the oak pollen a little bit more today. We'll take it, but it's non-severe. There's a good downpour right now in north central Austin. I'm about to move into the Pflugerville area, right over the domain. So you can see Mopac and 183 interchange up and towards the Palmer area, Palmer exit of Mopac. Downpour there. That's moving off towards the east, but it is non-severe, and that's good news. So there you see those thunderstorms sliding off towards the east. Got some rain here in Austin, and then once this passes, we're going to be in good shape. You can see how quiet things are out towards the west. I'm going to plot wind particles so you can kind of see where the frontal boundary is, and with that north wind, you get not just cooler air, but stable air. So there you go. You can kind of see where these little particles kind of converge. That's where you have the frontal boundary, right in there. And we're still going to be watching on the lookout for severe weather east of Austin. Andrew says it's getting windy in South Austin. Let's take a look at, we haven't talked about South Austin. Most intense thunderstorm is going to be south of you in Hayes County. You get some light to moderate rain. There's not even that much lightning. So far, so good for Travis County. We haven't had a whole lot of big storms. This storm here in Hayes County, around Hayes City, Driftwood, approaching Kyle and Buda. Keeping an eye on this. No big time winds, very small hail. So it's just a thunderstorm with a downpour and lightning. But that's about it. We are under a severe thunderstorm watch right now over most of the area. They have this watch posted for us until 10 o'clock. We'll be dropped out of this watch before 10 o'clock. You can see how large the watch box is. It goes from the Rio Grande around Laredo and extends to the Louisiana state line. So it covers a good chunk of Texas, including a good chunk of our area. The severe weather threat, though, is coming to an end in the Hill Country. It's over in Mason and Llano and Gillespie County, and even though Burnett and Blanco County are still included in it, the last bit of raindrops are exiting out of extreme eastern Blanco County, and there's one little lightning bolt in extreme eastern Burnett County. The severe weather threat coming to an end for the Hill Country, for the 281 corridor westward. Severe weather threat ongoing for the metro, in particular for Travis and Hayes County, and at least eastern sections of Williamson County. I think it's just mainly going to be rain and thunder for the Georgetown and Round Rock area, like you're having right now. Probably nothing heavier than that. And then you can see the most intense thunderstorms right now are focused in Milam County into northern sections of Lee County. So we'll go back to that Doppler radar. I mean, it's wild right now in Milam County, along Highway 79, Thorndale to Rockdale, approaching Milano right now. It's just, it's a mess there. Let's take a look at hail tracker. Hail has not, thank goodness, hail has not been that big of an issue. We'll look at Doppler winds, though. That's the issue. This is where you could have some wind gusts that are up there. Let me change over different weather service. Yeah, so National Weather Service out of Fort Worth. The Fort Worth office actually takes care of Milam County. The rest of the counties, with the exception of Mason, is taken care of by the New Braunfels office. The Mason County is taken care of by San Angelo. So we communicate with three different separate National Weather Service offices. Majority of the counties, including the metro, are with the New Braunfels office. It's the Austin San Antonio National Weather Service. But for Milam County, it's Fort Worth, and they have that thunderstorm potentially still producing 65 plus mile per hour winds. And they have that severe thunderstorm warning for Milam County for another 20 minutes. Put it up for you and you'll see severe thunderstorm warning, Milam until 4 p.m. And there you go. You see this thunderstorm, which is severe, moving closer to Lee County, and the Houston office, who takes care of these two counties outside of our viewing area, they've decided to issue that severe thunderstorm warning for Burleson and Washington County. That's outside of the KVUE viewing area. So far, no severe weather reports in our area. I'm only seeing one that came out about 5 minutes ago. It was in Kendall County, around the Bernie area, so southwest of Austin, of a tin roof partially removed from a barn, 4 to 5 inch diameter tree limbs broken, half-inch diameter hail. That's outside of the viewing area, but so far, no damage reports coming in from the storms, even from earlier this afternoon up around the Gerald area or Granger area. So that's good. If we can avoid that, it's going to be a good day. So there's a look at these thunderstorms that continue to the east. We'll come back and zoom into Austin. And it's just a moderate shower in Austin. And once this passes, our severe weather threat will go down. We've got some heavy rain, though, right along 183 East Austin into Northeast Austin. Pflugerville, it's moving in right now. Manor moving in shortly. There you see the thunderstorms, the heavy rainfall, but non-severe, approaching the 130 toll road and moving off towards the east. Put that into motion. There you go. So that's going to swing also through places like Elgin here in the next 20 minutes, and may give even pockets of eastern Williamson County and even northern sections of Lee County another little wave of showers and storms. Okay, so I think we're probably going to have a new warning come out. We talked about how this storm, as it continued to move to the east, a little bit close to the interstate, it was going to encounter an environment that was a little bit more favorable for severe weather. This will probably be where our next warnings that come from. It's this thunderstorm that's in Hayes County. And the reason why I say that is, let's go back to the live scan, and we'll take off lightning. Anytime you start to see little whites and pinks pop up, that's the radar beam bouncing off hailstones within the thunderstorm. So I've adjusted the color table to give us a better look at these thunderstorms. So there you go. That's not right, but anyway. But that's probably where we'll get at least a special weather statement. So this thunderstorm, I would say, capable now of producing potentially as large as quarter-size hail, even though there's no warning out just yet, is near Hayes City and will be moving close to Kyle and Buda. If you live in Mountain City as well, this is a strong thunderstorm that is approaching your area. So that's something for us to keep an eye on. Let's take a look at if we're seeing an increase in winds. Nope. There's a little bit of broad rotation, but that's okay. Broad is okay. Tight rotation is not what you want. So that's the meanest thunderstorm, at least in the metro right now, in Hayes County, moving off to the east. Looks like it's maybe even picked up some forward speed just a bit. Let me kind of get a look at how. Yeah, that's a fast little moving storm, isn't it? Looks like it's picking up. It may be around 35 to 40 mile per hour forward speed now. So there you see it getting a little bit tightened up. There's the latest scan, still showing developing hail core south of Hayes City, moving off towards the due east, the Mountain City. If you live between Kyle and Buda, watch out for that storm as it comes on in. Hail core, you can see additional scans showing a little bit more white like that pop up. So that's probably gonna be our next warning there. So we'll keep an eye on that. This one also will be staying to the south of downtown Austin, but Creedmoor, Mustang Ridge, we'll watch it for you as this storm gets a little bit closer to you. Of course, Kyle, Buda looks to stay to the north of San Marcos. Mountain City, want to watch that one, but it's now the meanest storm on the radar. So we'll come back to that. This one not showing any big signs of getting stronger. It's just heavy downpours along 290 from northeast Austin and now moving into Manor. Rain's about to pick up now around the Austin Executive Airport. Rain picking up now in Pflugerville. Rain's about to pick up around the Pflugerville area, the Black Hawk neighborhood, a 130-45 area next couple of minutes, but it's non-severe. Then up here in Williamson County, things have slowed down in a big way, at least over parts of Williamson County. We still have some showers, but they are garden variety. They're no big deal. They're moderate to at times heavy downpours around Georgetown to Round Rock. Hutto, we've got some moderate rain for you. And then we've got showers that have just moved out of Taylor, but you can see additional activity building out here towards the west that will be moving closer to Taylor and Copeland as well. So let's go back down to Hayes County, and then we'll swing back into Milam County in just a second. We'll watch this one. Still nothing from the Weather Service. Moving off to the east. Okay. We'll check on temperatures. We'll get an update on temperatures shortly. Now 69 here in Austin, 66 in Georgetown. Rain cooled air and that front coming on in. But notice still upper 80s to near 90 here east of the interstate. So we could have additional warnings. I think we probably will. Caldwell, Bastrop, maybe additional in Lee and in Fayette County as well. So let's go back and take a look at the radar for this severe storm. Cameron to Rockdale, still some very heavy rainfall, a lot of cloud ground lightning. We do have potentially some large hail developing near Lexington, right over Lexington. My buddy Luke, if you're watching and you're in Lexington, text me. Let me know if you're getting any hail at your house. But you can see again, little white, little pink, showing little hail core developing just north of Lexington, south of Tanglewood, around 77, moving off towards the east. All right. So far, so good, though. Nothing, too wacky in terms of weather. It's busy enough. Michaela Hernandez saying lost power in Gerald. How bad were the winds there about an hour and a half ago when that storm was coming in? Tanner Garcia says power out there in East Austin. From that one storm, huh? Interesting. Rhonda in Thorndale. Wind still howling in Thorndale. Yeah, it's going to improve in Thorndale like less than 10 minutes. Things are about to really improve for you. Okay, so that one storm that I said was going to be our next severe thunderstorm warning, there you go. So this brand new severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 4:15. Marla, let's jump on TV for like a minute, maybe after this commercial break. Cool, thank you. So this is a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. Then we get a new warning like this, especially when it's moving in a populated area, like to jump on TV. Not everyone, as we know, as technical savvy as you find folks watching on either YouTube or Twitter or Facebook or the app on the .com. So we want to make sure people that are watching on the airwaves knows what's going on. So severe thunderstorm warning till 4:15. This does include Kyle. This does include Mountain City and Ulen. This is going to be moving off towards the east at 25 miles per hour. Main concern with this thunderstorm is going to be hail. We talked about how hail core was developing in that white. That's just 3 miles to the due west of Kyle. That's your hail core right here. Okay, cool, thank you. So we'll jump on TV here in about 2 minutes. And I don't think this storm is probably going to slow down. So just an early heads up. If you are in Mustang Ridge, northern sections of Caldwell County, and even western sections of Bastrop County, you want to watch this storm as it gets a little bit closer to you. And it looks like they just updated this warning. Let me just look at this real quick while I got a second. Yeah, so 349, severe thunderstorm near Lexington, moving east at 30. Potential for wind gusts of 60 miles per hour and quarter-size hail. So as we were saying, little hail core developing near Lexington and moving off to the east. Look at Doppler winds. Still some really intense winds with that storm that's impacting Lee County. And that's moving east at 30. Okay.
And so we want a minute?
Yeah. Just a quick heads up. So, 2 thunderstorms that we're watching, one impacting Milam and Lee County, the other one, that new warning that just came out for Hayes County, that does include the Kyle area, does include Mountain City, and that's moving to the east at 20 to 25 miles per hour. And we'll watch that one to potentially increase even a little bit more. So we're going to jump on the TV side here in just a second. Yeah, Michelle, our severe weather risk in Austin is coming to an end. So that's at least central Austin. We're going to keep an eye on South Austin with a storm down to the south. Okay, we're going to jump on TV for 1 second. Hang with me. You'll still be able to see me, but Good afternoon, everyone. It's 3:51. I'm Chief Meteorologist Albert Ramon back on TV just to give you a radar update. We do have a new warning that has popped up in the last few minutes in Hayes County that does include the Kyle area. So I want to put you on the loop on that. We're also, just a heads up, if you do lose power, and I know some folks have with these storms moving on through, we're streaming right now on the KVUE News app, KVUE.com, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. So we got you covered where you can watch us on your smartphone. So let's get you updated on the latest warning that has just popped up. This is going to be a severe thunderstorm warning for this small section of Hayes County until 4:15. The main concern with this thunderstorm will be from hail. You can see a little bit of white on the Doppler radar, just a couple of miles off towards the west of Kyle. That's a hail core, so 1-inch diameter hail possible with this storm, and also wind gusts embedded in this storm as high as 60 miles per hour. This particular thunderstorm moving over I-35 right now could continue to be severe as it moves into northern Caldwell and eventually into Bastrop County. Also, if you're in Lee County and Milam County, still dealing with some intense winds, we'll keep you updated. Cool. We'll do something again maybe in the 4 o'clock hour, early, maybe right at the top of the hour. How about that? Right at 4? All right, we are here on social media, keeping everyone updated on what's happening. Okay. Let's get back into it, everybody. Thanks for everybody who's watching, making sure you know what is happening. Chris, we'll take a look at that. That's outside of the viewing area, but we'll take a look at that. Luke Haskins, chances is going to spin up. Which storm in particular are you talking about? The one in Hayes County? Let's do a reset, everybody. We're going to jump back on TV in about 6 minutes just for kind of a top of the hour radar update. And then we'll have the full forecast at 5 o'clock. Good news is a lot of this is going to be I think it's out of the viewing area before sunset. So if you like to do your evening walk in the neighborhood, hang out in the backyard, you had some plans later this evening, I think you're going to be in good shape. So this is actually working out really good as far as timing goes. We do not like situations where the storms just sit and just drop a ton of rainfall and cause a lot of issues. All this stuff is on the move. And that's good news. So let's just take a look what's going on. If you're just now jumping on, give you an idea. We have a front moving in. We have a very hot, humid air mass out ahead of this front. If you are cooling down, if you've got a nice north wind, you had some storms not too long ago, you're pretty much in the clear. Hill country is in the clear with temperatures there in the 60s and 70s, a combination of a nice cool north wind and rain-cooled air. We are still looking at a severe thunderstorm watch for a good chunk of the area. A severe weather threat is down to 0 in Mason, Llano, and Gillespie County, and we'll likely see some of these other counties trimmed out of this watch shortly. I think you're good if you're in Blanco and Burnett County, even though you're still in this Pepto-Bismol pink showing you a severe thunderstorm watch. You're in the clear now. That severe weather risk is shifting off to the east of you. And if you're in Williamson County, severe weather risk is decreasing. We're going to keep an eye on the radar still until every rain drops out of there. Travis County, it's mainly going to be east of Austin now. And of course, we're still dealing with some ongoing severe weather issues in Hayes County. We'll talk about that storm around Kyle in just a second. Caldwell County, Bastrop, Fayette, and Lee County. You're still under the severe weather risk. The front, for most of you, has not even gotten there yet. You're still upper 80s and low 90s. You're very unstable. So we will probably have additional warnings that include areas east of the interstate over the next hour to 2 hours, right? And then this stuff is out of here by 7 o'clock, out of the entire viewing area. If you're in Austin, it'll be gone well before that. So let's talk about the 2 warnings that we have, and we'll start with this one. South of Austin in Hayes County, some good news here. Doesn't appear like the hail core, or where the hail is developing within the thunderstorm, is as pronounced as it was just 10 minutes ago. It's pouring buckets, no doubt about it, in Kyle and even up towards Buda, and you're still under the severe thunderstorm warning until 4:15. They may even trim you out of that, depending on what happens here in the next few minutes. I do want to show you that in just a second. Okay. All right, just reading the Weather Service stuff. So let's zoom in. You got your bearing straight, south of Austin. We're in Hays County. We're in Kyle. I know some of our friends in Kyle and Buda and Mountain City are watching right now. Let's just kind of take a look at hail tracker. Maybe some very tiny hail, no big deal. It's below severe weather limits. Let's take a look at Doppler winds. There's nothing crazy on there. So we may see this warning drop for the Kyle area shortly. That being said, if you live out here towards the east of this thunderstorm, out in here, Bastrop, Cedar Creek, Lockhart, want to watch it, because again, these storms, as they continue to move off to the east, are going in a hot, unstable environment. Okay, so just because it's pulsating down now doesn't mean it will pulsate up again. Austin, at least, you know, the city proper, we've been in good shape all day, thank goodness. It's just rain, light to moderate rainfall. If you're in South Austin, it's a bit heavier. If you're out around I-35 and the 45 interchange on the Hays County line, not too far from Buda, I mean, it's heavy, but it's non-severe. It's just heavy rain and lightning, and that's the one that's moving off to the east. So heading into Creedmoor and Mustang Ridge, and it's this storm that will eventually make its way towards the airport and Circuit of the Americas area, Del Valley area, as that moves off towards the east, and eventually Cedar Creek and Bastrop and locations like that. Let's kind of come up here towards Travis County. Again, Austin is just light to a couple of moderate pockets of rainfall. There's a little shower up here around Lake Travis, pulling away from Hudson Bend and headed towards Lago. That could kind of pass between Leander and Cedar Park in the next 10 minutes. This thunderstorm has been non-severe for the last hour. It looks a little bit better. It's between Manor and Elgin right now. Heavy rainfall on 290 between Elgin and the 130 exit. Moving off to the east as well. Downpours. Let's take a look at hail tracker. No big deal there. We're good on hail tracker. No spin in the atmosphere, so we like that. Now, these thunderstorms up in less than a minute, right? These thunderstorms up here, not as strong in Lee County. We've got some downpours, some gusty winds around Dime Box. Lexington, you're in better shape now. Milam County, things are starting to slow down in Rockdale and in Cameron. And now this is kind of moving into the Caldwell area, not Caldwell County, the community of Caldwell that's out here towards the east of the interstate. So let's do like a 1 minute. You can count me down in 1 minute. So we're going to jump back on TV here in about 20 seconds just for a quick 1 minute radar update. And then we'll come back to digital. Four o'clock, we'll get to Ellen in 60 seconds. Want to update you on Doppler Radar. A severe thunderstorm watch remains in effect until later this evening, but the severe weather risk for our area is probably going to come to an end early evening. So that's the good news. A front is moving through the area right now, lined up along I-35 and moving off to the east. That front is bringing in some cooler and drier air, but it's also encountering a very humid, unstable, and hot atmosphere. Notice the temperatures in the upper 80s and low 90s off to the east of Austin. And because we're having that clash of air masses, we've got some severe weather. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning that continues for the Kyle area until 4:15, although we're not seeing signs on Doppler radar like we were 15 minutes ago of some big time hail. Heavy downpours into South Austin, moderate downpours in downtown Austin, a downpour non-severe right along 290 between Manor and Elgin, and still gusty winds and potentially for some small hail in Milam County and in far eastern Lee County. The latest on your weather coming up today at 5. Thank you. I think we're good for now. Yeah. Okay, back on the digital side.
Do you need James to stick around after the 6?
No, we'll be good. Yeah, I'm going to do the 10 from home, just a heads up. What a world where you can say that. I'm going to go home for the 10 o'clock news. Yeah, the severe weather threat will be well over before then. But I'm in studio for the 5 and 6, make sure everyone knows what's going on. So, we're in good shape right now. We do have that severe thunderstorm warning, as you see there, for Lee County. But the heaviest activities kind of pulling away from Lee County. Love that. We've got that thunderstorm that still has a severe thunderstorm warning on it around the Kyle area, but not seeing signs on Doppler radar of it being as strong as it was just a few minutes ago, so we like that as well. Austin, it's just really some light areas of rain, more moderate to heavier pockets in South Austin, and then some heavy stuff around Manor that will be moving into Elgin. But, not bad. Not bad situation, and you're good if you're in the hill country. Let's take a look at some of the latest forecast models. This is the HRRR model. This one's just overdone. Has not done a great job the last couple of days. We'll go back to this one. This is the new IBM Watson model, which I think did a great job yesterday, meaning that it wasn't that excited about storm chances. And guess what? We didn't get anything yesterday. And then it's done a pretty decent job today. So let's go to 5 o'clock. I think this is right on. 5 o'clock showing some lingering showers in the metro, but the severe weather risk will be east of the interstate at the top of the hour, so in 58 minutes. Potential for severe weather within the hour, Bastrop, Lee, and Fayette County, maybe even Caldwell County, okay? So that's a look at future radar at 5 o'clock. Let's go to about 6 o'clock. So this model has been wanting to bring in a secondary little wave of showers and storms early evening, 6 o'clock coming in out of the southwest. We'll see if that materializes. I'm kind of curious to see what the radar to the southwest of us looks like. We'll look at that. But all these models have been showing the closer we get to sunset, we really start to stabilize our atmosphere, both with that front coming in and the loss of daytime heating with the setting sun. So there's Thursday at 7 o'clock, and then by 8 o'clock, a lingering shower, 9 o'clock, maybe a lingering shower out east into the south, and by 11 o'clock, it's all over. So let's actually take a look and see if we see anything out here. Yeah, so there's a little bit of elevated showers that's out around Junction, around I-10. So we'll keep an eye on that as it moves on in. So that may be what that model is trying to pick up on, secondary little wave coming in. So we'll keep an eye on that. We'll see what that does as it gets a little bit closer to the hill country. Okay, so take a look at this storm. Chris, yeah, I see what you're talking about. A little bit earlier on those earlier scans. Yeah, that is now gone. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. Because we don't have anything enormous on the radar right now, I'm going to take the next few minutes and prepare for the 5 o'clock newscast, because I've been hanging out with you all for a while, since 1:45. Wow, that went by fast. So I'm going to step back for a little bit. I'll keep the radar up. How about that? So we'll look at the radar like this, and then I'll dip in. But I'm going to take this kind of window of opportunity of not a whole lot of action going on to prep for the evening newscast, because I haven't done anything. Thank goodness for Hunter, who's at home helping me out on that end. So I'll keep the radar up. We'll make it full screen, and I'll jump back on with another update shortly. Okay? And I'll put a little note here. All right. See you in a sec. Okay, everybody, for those that are still checking on in, you can see all warnings have ended, which is great news. We just have some lingering showers out towards the east. We do have additional showers building out towards the west. These are just some light to moderate showers. So we'll have a passing shower here for the early evening time. I'll show you the future radar. And this has always been a little overdone all day. Let me load one more for you. I'll show you the latest forecast data here. And I think this does a good job with a chance of some passing showers now through about 7 p.m. And then notice as we get closer to 8 o'clock, a lot of this activity will shift out of Austin. And by 10 o'clock, it's just maybe some light sprinkles to the south and east. So severe weather threat is decreasing over a good chunk of the area. That's good news. That being said, a severe thunderstorm watch does remain in effect until 10 o'clock. So we'll keep an eye on the Doppler radar. We'll watch some of these showers come in out of the west. We are on TV on KVUE, streaming on the website and also on the KVUE News app in 20 minutes. I'm going to end the stream now. If we have additional warnings that pop up, which is possible, it's looking more and more unlikely, but which is possible, we'll jump back on to Facebook Live. But we're going to end the stream now. Hope everyone has a great rest of the day.